Taurus, this is your forecast for November 2021, and we have a beautiful month ahead for you because all the bigger planets are now opening up, supporting you and bumping you forward. And I can see how many of you is really going to be having a wonderful outfall from what November can bring you. So we also have a partial lunar eclipse, which doesn't happen all that often, especially not in your sign. And the lunar eclipses, they bring to the surface, it's like the power of three moons, right? It's falling in your first house for personality and the I am consciousness. It had just passed Uranus when it comes into the full moon there on the 19th. So the days leading up to it, you might just be feeling this deep need for change, right? That's what Uranus does. It changes up, lets go, separates from those things that no longer behoove us. And this partial eclipse will bring up a lot of emotions and the feelings of where you stand in your relationship. If there's been unresolved things or things that you've been holding deep and close to heart, that's going to come up. So do not be surprised. And listen, it's meant to be, right? So sometimes we eclipse, meaning letting go of those things that no longer behoove us or the relationship, and see how that is going to clarify things. So be prepared for it. And the preparation this month would be with your new moon there on the 4th, which is taking place in your 7th house of relationships. So whenever we have new moons, we look at where our focus should be. Where should we place our intentions? So for you, Taurus, this month is thinking about where is my relationship and what do I really want from my relationship? You know, is it time to kind of bring it up a notch or two? Then yes. So your intention should be how your ideal relationship should look like, you know, and place all of that into your higher mind, send it out to the universe, and then watch what's coming at that full moon when we have the partial eclipse and see how that's worked. Talk about instant manifestation that can take place this month for you. That new moon also is empowered because it will be passing there over the sun, of course, that's why we have a new moon, but also Mars. So it's empowered with that energy that Mars wants to kind of push forward. Think about Mars always being goal-oriented, and November is going to be all about your one-on-one relationships, either whether that's with your significant other or it's people you work closely with. You're going to speak your truth, but you might also find that you're going to need to surrender certain things of what you thought in the past was important, holding on to or hoarding or controlling maybe, that will come by that eclipse, that might need to go in order to attain more of a balanced, harmonious relationship. And isn't that what you want, Taurus? Yes, it is. So what are you needing to surrender? Maybe some insecurities, anxieties, thinking that you have to control something in order to obtain something. No, when we let go of that, when we let go of fear and anxiety, we embody trust. And when we can trust that whatever is and meant to be, then we don't have to necessarily steer it. So I'm thinking the balance between you and your partner, the lunar eclipse being the first house, that's you, and that new moon in the 7th house, that's your partner. The scales is going to really balance up that much more. This is a supercharged, powerful month that can actually do a lot of magic if you dare trust. Okay, so let go of your fears. Mercury is going to come into this area as well on the 6th of November. So in October, you were more in your mind, in your head, kind of thinking, staying on top of your day-to-day routines, and maybe even overthinking, because it's the house of Virgo. Virgo can overthink, right? And then get overwhelmed. But now coming into November on the 6th, that Mercury is going to move into the area of your relationships. It's going to meet up with the sun and Mars, empower it, Communications might become very fiery, but if you're being true to yourself, true with honesty of what is important, that new moon is the intentions that you want to set out there on the 4th. So, yeah, I think this is the biggest, uh, should I say, step ahead in your chart this month. Plus, of course, we got all the big game players now awake. Well, we still have Neptune and Uranus, but we got Venus, Saturn, Pluto now fully awake, moving forward. This is hitting you in the areas of your career, both Jupiter and Saturn being there. I can see how so many of you Taurians, you worked. You've been laboring and stressing to bring things up to a higher level straight through summer, early autumn. But now you can see that you can get people or partnerships, people in high places that will come in, have your back, not just generous and abundant with you, which it will be, but Saturn will come in, make sure that you anchor in the expertise that you have grown thus far. Saturn has maybe been a little tough on a few of you with the extra burdens, the extra responsibility that's been there, but it's also been giving you this period throughout the retrograde to really rethink, do I really want this? If so, let me just, put everything I got into it in order to grow and expand it. And if I really don't, if you've been kind of like doubting your path, your career path, well, then you've come to a conclusion. This is the time to change. And if so, then start looking for it. And you will see that as far as doing job hunting should be easier for you coming now November and then onwards, because the doors are open, opportunities are going to line up. All you need to do is recognize them when they get there. So we're loving that, and there could be a very good insight or news or offer or opportunity coming to you as we start off on November 1st. Okay, we've got Mercury, we've got Jupiter there delivering some wonderful news, and it could be something that you've been waiting for quite a while. That same Mercury, as I said, will be moving into your 7th house of relationships on the 6th. So we have, what else do I want to put before we move to your lunar eclipse? Well, that reveals all of your emotions, everything, like I said, you've been holding close to heart, haven't been expressing. It's all that I am personal stuff in your 1st house. That is going to open a door so that you can move into focusing more on values, new values, not necessarily just the monetary ones, but your inner internal values. Who are you? And where are you going from here? It's those bigger questions that we give to life, those higher dimensions that is now standing in line to be able to open up these higher doorways that we have. So you can be a little bit more, shall I say, attuned to the universe and get these fuller downloads that you're getting, not just information in a linear way, but in a full download way. And when you do, it just moves everything that much faster. I mean, that's where we're going through time warps. You'll see that too, Taurus. And I think you will love it because it's putting you on the fast track. And of course, right now, I see you all giddy, especially in your relationships, your one-on-one relationships. You're wanting to empower it. You're wanting it to be good. So surrender what needs to go, put in what needs to be in order to balance the scales, of this dynamic force in your relationships. So that's pretty much what I have here in the short and the skinny for November. And do go listen to your moon and rising sign, because the eclipse and this new moon, which is very powerful this month, will also show up in those readings. So if you do know your moon and rising sign, go listen to them now, because it will give you more insight as to where they're showing up elsewhere in those charts. All right. I'll see you next month, Taurus. Have a good one. Bye now.